Ooh, not good. Oh, all right. You tell me, folks, what looked wrong about that swing? Well, if your answer is early extension, then you're right. And that's what this session is about, early extension. My name's Peter Ryman, assistant golf professional at Oyster Harbors Club, and bringing you another instructional series here from my golf studio. I had someone request a session on early extension, and I thought, wow, that's a great idea. I can't tell you the number of people that I've taught who have struggled with early extension, including myself. I struggle with early extension quite a bit, so I do know quite a few good drills, and I know a few good ways to combat it. So early extension, what is it, right? So for those of you golf nerds out there, you're maybe thinking of terms like anterior and posterior pelvic tilt. Awesome, good for you. But for the rest of us, who don't want to get that nitty gritty, all it really means is your hips are going to work towards the ball as you swing, and you're going to come up out of your posture, right? We have a pitch here in our shoulders, and my shoulder pitch is going to flatten, and I'm going to lose that pitch. Why is that a problem? Okay, why is that a problem, folks? So if you're like me, there's two ways this can really be a problem. If you're like me, here's the first one. As I work into the shot, my club is still going to track down and more or less on plane, but if my pelvis also works towards the ball as my club, even though it's on plane, my arms, they quickly get pinned against my chest, and there's no ability for mobility. That's fun. So here I am, completely stuck. What's going to get this club now back to the ball? It's my hands, folks. And when you get stuck like that, okay, I can't turn through the shot, and my hands have to create speed now. And anytime your hands are taking over a shot like that, it's quickly moving this face from an open position to a closed position, and thus creating a lot of variability, where you need to have great timing to square that club face up through impact. Okay, so it's inconsistent, right? Maybe you can play some good golf if you have great timing that day and your hand-eye coordination is just dialed in. Great, good for you. But the other couple times that guy goes out, I don't want to be his better ball partner because I bet he's going to struggle. Okay, so that's issue number one. I'm in that boat myself. Issue number two, right? So issue number two is you've been early extending for so long that you've learned that this stuck position maybe doesn't feel good, and it's no bueno, so you've learned to give yourself space. And your hands now are working out and across the shot, and you can see my path there is really moving left and across the ball. If you square the club face up to the path, that ball is going way left. If you leave the face open, that ball is going to slice. It's going to start right and it's going to slice. So, early extension, but hands work out. Here's that shot. Woo! That was like a trick, huh? I don't even think it's good. Oh, it did pick it up. Okay. That shot was awful. Man, it felt awful too. That's not a swing I ever want to make. I don't even think, frankly, the SkyTrack picked that shot up because it just said, "What the heck was that, Peter?" That's very funny, actually. So, anyways, those are your two major issues, right? Your hands are going to respond really to what this is doing. You're going to work out and across it, or maybe you can get them down, but then you get pinned, and you got to flip your hands over here to kind of try and square the club face up. So, all right, so we've established this is a problem, and it's not something we want to do. Here is potentially the easiest fix for you, and I really hope you're in this boat. It may just be a re-examination of your setup, and specifically your stance and where your weight is, okay? So, where your weight is, right? Your weight may just be too much towards your toes. If my weight's towards my toes in my swing, I have to kind of move my body and stand up to get it there, right? Maybe you just need to create a little bit more awareness, and maybe you just need to get a pair of Echo golf shoes that have this awesome indicator here, right? This red strip, which really when we swing, I want my weight working over that red strip on my shoe, because that really is your balance point there, the outside part of your outsole there where your heel is, okay? Maybe that's all you need. Maybe if you just think about, okay, I just want to finish with my weight on the outside of my left heel, and then you have nice balance there with a swing like that, okay? Maybe that's all you need. Here's another possible issue though. Your swing might also, you might also just be setting up to the ball with too wide a stance, okay? So how does that relate to, to early extension? So here's the deal. The wider your stance is, the harder it is to turn, okay? And let me just demonstrate that. Really wide stance, turning through the shot, this is all I got, folks. This is it. If I want to turn more, I have to make a really intense lateral move of my weight to get over here, right? And that, who sets up to a golf shot with a stance this wide? Nobody. Not even the longest drivers in the world, because they can't turn. Okay, watch what happens. I narrow my stance. Boom. Super easy. Super easy to turn on my left side. Okay, again, really wide stance. Maybe this is easier to see. That's all I got. Narrow stance. Here you go, folks. You may just need to narrow your stance out to get over there and turn, because if your stance is wide, another way to create power is to basically thrust your hips in towards the ball, right? When I thrust my hips, that club wants to slingshot around me. Now, it's slingshotting around me in a way where the face is quickly opening, closing, and it's super inconsistent, but it is creating a little bit of speed there, okay? So, if you have a wide stance, maybe you might have just learned to adapt your swing to create speed by creating a little bit of posterior tilt way too early and just basically losing your spine angle. That's a possibility. So try narrowing your stance and try just feeling some weight in your heels. And this is kind of a fun little, I like to see this. You see a lot of pros settle into shots where their tips of their toes, see my tips of my toes, they can lift up a bit. My weight's not in my heels, folks. It's still right in the center, but I can just lift my toes up and settle into the shot and get through it real nicely that way. So you see a lot of good players do that, frankly. That was a nice strike, by the way. I like that one. That's the one that keeps me coming back for more. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa! Okay, so listen. Those are the easiest fixes. Here, though, you know what? If you are fine with your stance and all of that, here's some drills. I got a chair here. I'm going to switch clubs. I got a pitching wedge now, because when you do drills, people, you really should do drills with shorter clubs that are a little bit easier to manage. A little bit easier for you to make swings at, and then you work into longer clubs as you get comfortable. All right, so maybe you can guess what this is. The idea is you want to keep your butt on the chair. It's really that simple. Specifically, when you work through this shot, I want you to feel like your left glute is pushing the chair out and back behind you. If you don't have a chair, that's fine. Grab an alignment stick, put the alignment stick in the ground behind you, or if you're just at home, you don't even need a golf club, right? You can put the golf club aside and put your butt up against the wall and just try and create a little bit of pressure in your left glute against the wall, and just do little rehearsal rotations. Okay, really simple, but really effective. And if you have something, though, that you can bring to the range, you can certainly try and hit some shots. And for me, like as I make this swing here, I really want to feel like this chair is pushing out. I really felt it there. That felt like I did a good job maintaining the pitch in my shoulders. That was a good strike there. Happy with that. So that's a great drill for you to bring to the range, or again, you can just do at home. And here's another one. If you really want to think and get focused on the idea of anterior, posterior pelvic tilt, if you feel like you can really try and get your sequencing right, Okay, you can take an alignment stick. Take this alignment stick and you're just gonna go ahead, make sure the non-pointy end is pointing away from you, and you're gonna put it between your belt buckle. If you're comfortable doing this. Some of you may not be. I get it. But here's the deal. When we swing, most of our swing, we need to be experiencing some type of anterior pelvic tilt, meaning we want our butt out and we want this alignment stick pointed between our legs. You can see how that alignment stick moves out behind my legs. Okay, and I want that feeling of that alignment stick between my legs to be for much really of my swing all the way down into impact. And so then when does it come out? Just after impact, right? So the idea is make your swing and then try and work this alignment stick up and out after you hit the ball. So feel it between your legs and then work it up and out. And here's that finished position, folks. Right there. It got stuck on my foot, but it would be right there. There you go. We didn't pick that shot up either. That's fine. Anyways, so some quick, easy drills for you folks. If you're comfortable being on the range, putting an alignment stick between your legs, man, God bless you. That means you're committed, right? All right, so feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about any of these topics. Quick summary here. Easy options to fix early extension. Just re-examine where your weight is in your stance. Make sure it's not too much near your toes. Make sure it's centered. Make sure you're finishing with your weight on your left heel, okay, on the back portion of your left heel on the outside. All right, maybe your stance is too wide too. That's the other very easy fix. All right, if you fall into that boat, that's awesome. You're gonna have an easy road ahead. If you don't, and you're doing a good job with your weight and your stance, then you need to get some drills, right? And butt against an object. That's easiest, I think, drill you can have there. Create a little bit of pressure in the left glute as you work into impact, okay? And just try and push that object away with your left glute just a little bit. If you really want to get into the feel, though, of, trying to maintain your posture, anterior tilt, and then when do I need to feel that posterior pelvic tilt where my hips actually do work up and out, it's after the shot. So put the alignment stick between your belt buckle and then work that alignment stick up and out of your legs post-impact, okay? So again, Peter Ryman signing off here. Thank you so much for joining me. Love putting these videos together. Feel free to reach out to me with your comments, questions, and if you have any ideas for topics for next time, I would be happy to address them and put something together for you. Take care. Happy holidays, folks.